I can't remember the last time I saw my neighbor. That is it. It's just too weird, I think. It's too weird. Because when I grew up, I knew everybody in my hometown. I know everybody. I know their mother, their father, their cousins, everybody. But in Sweden, it's not like that. Why? I don't know. I can't explain. Most of the time, Swedes, if you ask Swedes something, they will say, I don't know. Hi guys, how are you doing? Hoping you're doing well. It's again Kamis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing. You guys, like I needed to do this video because it has been long time. I've been planning to talk about some weird things. Some weird things. Like things that I think are so weird or I find weird about Sweden. So I have some notes here. So if you see me looking down, it's just because I don't have everything on my head. I have the notes here of some weird things. I like random things. Like some are just, interesting. Like I am talking this based on my own experience, what I think is weird, and also based on how I grew up and the things that I see very different from where I come from. So, guys, number one, sweet like sugar. Oh my goodness. Like, sweets like sweet things. I don't know. Like, when I was growing up, like, hey, we didn't eat candies the way sweets is. I remember, like, those days we eat, like, there are certain candy that I remember, three or two, and you eat them once in a blue. Even sometimes we used to eat candies during Christmas. Maybe because I'm from the village. I don't know about you people that grew up in the city. Let me know in the comment section if you eat candies every day or you have candies everywhere. Because in Sweden, in every shop you go, even if it's a small kiosk, there's chocolate, there is cakes, like everything is just too sweet. The thing is so serious that the parents even regulate how their kids eat candies, and that is by what I mean that now most parents make the kids to eat candies on Saturdays, otherwise it becomes too much, and there are different kind of candies. So that is one thing. And when they are making like a choklad, there's one candy, the one like a bula, they call it choklad bula, and that is the sweetest thing I've ever ate. Oh my god, I can't even finish it. Or there's a cake they bake that they call cled coca. Jesus, it's too sweet. It's just too sweet. Like I was like, huh, I hope I'm not going to get sick because there was this mentality that if you eat too much sugar, you get sick. But I think Swedes eat a lot of sugar. Eating sugar is not about the sugar that you put in the tea, but it depends on what you eat. So for me, I think I find it so weird that Swedes like sweet things. They like sugar. So that is one of the things that I find very weird. Until a point where parents regulate how much candies their kids will eat, and most of the parents they put it a rule that kids only eat candies on weekend. Another thing about Sweden is like the students, they scream every night. Oh my god, if it was in Africa, they would think you're mad. Are you losing it or something? How can you just open the window and just start shouting like, ah? It's very serious. When I was in the university, like if you lived in the student apartment every day, especially that Stockholm University. I'm sorry, I'll have to mention Stockholm University. I was living in that student apartment. They would scream every night in the evening. You know why? Because they say it's a way of releasing stress, because maybe you've been so stressed reading and all you need is just to shout. I don't know if shouting helps. You guys, I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't know. Does shouting or screaming help? Does it release stress? One of my friends told me that sometimes she would just shout, that she thinks like shouting makes her feel free. So I don't know. Comment down down below. But I think it's weird. Like, okay, guys, I did study in the Kenyan universities. Like, it's only in universities they do Do the students shout every night in Kenya? Comment in the section down in my section, because I don't know about how Kenyan students do. I don't know, but I find it very weird. So guys, another thing about Sweden is like Swedes are very, very reserved. They are not talkative. You know, they are so quiet. Like you could be in the bus and nobody's talking. Everybody's just quiet. Especially these days with the social media, everybody's pressing their phone. Like you don't even know who is beside you. Okay, apart from being in the train, do you know you don't know your neighbor? Like you just see them. And if you have a neighbor that works every day, you can, my God, I don't know the last time I saw my neighbor. I'm sorry, I have not seen my neighbor for a long time. The neighbor that lives close to me, because you don't have, most of the time, you don't have association with neighbors. You just live your life. If you see the neighbor, you greet him. But some neighbors too are very weird. They don't want to be greeted, so you just leave them. So you greet the one that want to be greeted, because some of them, they are very funny. So Swedes are very reserved. They are not, should I say they're not friendly? They are so quiet, like they don't talk too much. The only time I realize that Swedes talk much is when they drink. So if you go out and drink, then they talk at that time. I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody should correct me, but this is my own experience. I noticed that Swedes talk mostly if they are drunk, then they will be able to talk much and express. So they are kind of reserved, they keep quiet. Another thing is you have to ask somebody if she need help. For example, maybe you can say I'm struggling with something, maybe I'm struggling to fix something, and you ask me, do you need help? Like in my own growing up, it's like you just go and help. Or maybe you see somebody falling, you help. You know, it's like you just help, like helping. In my, when I was growing up, then I don't know about now, maybe things have changed, but if you see somebody that needs help, you help. But in Sweden, you ask, behöver du hjälp? Can you help her? So it's not, you just don't go help him. So it's very weird. Like I find it so weird. Like, sorry, you can see two people fighting and everybody's just looking and minding their business. When I was in my hometown, if you see people fighting, you try to separate them. Like, but these days I've seen that people now all they do is record, you know, so that they can post on their WhatsApp. God, this world is crazy. But anyway, that's so weird. Like you ask, or if you have a visitor, like when you have to ask, do you care for coffee? Do you want this? But in my place, mostly if you enter, especially a Kenyan home, there's always tea on the table and some snacks. So when the visitor come, you just give them tea. You don't even have to ask them, do you want tea? Do you need this? But in Sweden, it's like they ask, do you need? Would you like? Would you care for? So it's I found it's very weird. I found it very weird. It's, you know, I don't know, guys. Then another thing is like when you go to the market, like even if in the open market where they sell like fruit during summer, there is always fixed price, no bargaining. Not like in Africa or in Kenya specifically, you just bargain. There you don't bargain, it's fixed price. Okay, you can try to bargain, but most of the time you get a no. The price is there and that's the price. So it's either you buy or not. The only places you can bargain is on online market, maybe Facebook market or second-hand shop, you know, where they are selling second-hand items. But if you go to a normal shop, a normal market, it's fixed price. You know, you don't bargain. I know in Kenya too, in the supermarkets, you don't bargain, but some markets like outside market, open market, you bargain. You even get extra. You can never get anything, even one fruit. You can't. I've never in my life, I've never gotten any extra fruit or extra something because I bought, you know. But what the Swedes do, like from the supermarket, they give like a coupon. So sometimes if they are doing sales, like maybe they are giving 10% off, 20% off, they can send you the message, you know. That is if you have a registered address, because if you don't have, you can't get those coupons. So it's very weird, like you don't get anything extra, like you know. I find it very weird. Like those days when I go to the market, if I buy some things, most of the time they will reduce the price and they also give me like 2 oranges or 2 bananas for free. So like, you know, anyway guys, that is it. Then another thing is like painting your house. You know, you can't just paint your house any color you want. You need to ask, most of the time you need to ask the landlord. For example, if you moving into the new apartment, they will tell you that if you want to paint or if you want to change how the wallpaper looks like, most of the time you need to ask them so that they can approve. Because sometimes if you paint the house in a way that if another tenant move in and then they have to do a lot of work, you might be charged. They might charge you for that. So I find it very weird. Anyway, so guys, another thing is, you know, one thing I read that North Korea owes Sweden about 300 million euros. Oh my god, that's strange. And now Sweden always every 6 months send them an invoice to remind them that, remember, you owe us 300 million euros for Volvo, and 1,000 Volvos that were stolen. Is a weird fact. You know, I find it very weird. So guys, another thing I wanted to talk about is that students get paid, especially if you're Swedish. If you have a residence permit here in Sweden and you study, you are given money free, about, let me say, $300 for free, just because you are going to school. I found it very interesting because they don't do that in Kenya. They don't give us money because we are studying, or you get free, rather you pay to go to school. Here it's free. And if you are lucky, if you are living with your parents, you don't need to pay for anything. Maybe some administration fee that maybe it's not even up to 1,000 Swedish kroner. They will give you that free money to study. But if you're not living with your parents, if you choose to live alone, then you have to find a way. Mostly you get the free money and then you can apply for a loan, and that loan, the interest rate is very, very low. At the end of the day, it's as if you get a loan whereby there's no interest. Is it not interesting? So guys, that's the thing, that students get paid. They're university kids or any some levels of education, they get free money. Okay, so another thing is like children get money every month. Oh my god, like seriously, we never got that. So it's something, I think it's something good. Anyway, they give children money, you know, every month, so it's a good thing. They support the parents. So yeah, I'm just saying this based on where I grew, where I'm coming from, where I come from, and based on my own experience. Another thing, like, you don't need to call somebody Mr. or Mrs. or Ma or Sir or Doctor. You call them by names. So if you are going somewhere, introduce your name, you say, hey, my name is this. Hey, my name is Camis. Hey, my name is Moses. My name is Paul. My name is Peter. My name is Rachel. My name is Ruth. So you don't go, and after the introduction, they will say to you, hey, Mrs. or Miss. Hello, Miss. No, they will call you by your name. Even the teachers, they call teachers by their name. You dare not do that in Africa, like call teachers by their name. No, you have to say Mrs. Patrick, Mr. Patrick. Here, you call them by names. It's very weird. You don't do that in Kenya. Another thing is, like, if you want to buy strong alcohol, you can only buy it in one place, which is System Bolaget. Alcohol is legalized. Like, not like they try to control the consumption of alcohol, especially strong drinks. You have to buy that something that is beyond 3.5%. You have to buy it in System Bolaget. Okay, so you can't just, sorry guys, so if you have an event and you want to buy alcohol, then you have to plan yourself, because they have their opening and closing time. So apart, if you want to buy from the black market, but if they catch saying, if you buy alcohol from the black market, like that, people who are, you know, what we call smuggling alcohol into the country, and they sell it undercover, if they catch you, it's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. So yeah, so like those are some there are so many things that I find weird about Sweden. There are so many weird things that Swedes do, but I don't want to make this video long, so I can call this part one of what I think is so weird about Sweden. Like, yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing. Bye bye.